Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to day 51 of commercial diving school. In this video, I'm going to be going over everything that we did today. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. So today was the first day of week 11 of commercial diving school, and we were diving all day. I didn't actually get to dive today, but here's everything that we did. So we set up our dive station like normal, but we're continuing with our underwater construction. So we basically got all of our equipment out, but we actually didn't get to use all the equipment, and I'm about to explain why that is. And that's because, for example, one of our tools is our airlift, and to have the airlift working, we have to have the diesel compressor, and that was not working today. So we didn't get to use that tool. And then another one of our tools, the hydraulic chisel that I actually used in one of my videos on day 57. In that video, I'm actually like using the hydraulic chisel. Yeah, that thing broke. So the chisel part on the end actually just like came off and just like actually broke. I'm not quite too sure how it actually happened, but yeah, that was basically done for the rest of the day. That hydraulic jackhammer chisel was secured. And so the only other tool we had for hydraulics, which is basically the chisel, it has those two hoses. I don't know if you guys seen the video, but if you did, there's like two hoses for a hydraulic tool, and one is the return and one is the out, inflow. I can't remember the other term for it, but anyway, you have out and an in, and it just recycles the hydraulic fluid. And you can take one tool off and you can put another tool on. So we put the hydraulic scrubber wheel, and it basically has like plastic teeth like on it, and it's a wheel about that big, and it has two handles where you can hold on to it with both hands, and then it has like a little back and forth switch to turn it on and off. And that thing, you can just like go up and down the concrete piles with it and like bust all the barnacles off and everything. So that was the only other tool we could use for the hydraulic pump. And then the only other tool we had was a water pump, and it basically is hooked to like a fire hose, so about yay big, and it has like a old style like fire hose nozzle on it that you would see in like the 1940s or whatever. Basically like a cone shaped nozzle, and they were kind of using that as like a jetting tool where they would shoot it like at the dirt and kind of create like a hole. And jetting is really big in commercial diving. You want to like uncover something like a pipe that you got to get to. You have to you basically have to spray away all the dirt to get down to it. So that's basically jetting. And so that's the only two tools we had. Like, it's the underwater construction week this week, and we only had two tools like left that we were using for today, and that was the water jetting pump and the scrubber brush. Like, that's it. So we also had like a barnacle buster, and it's basically like the scrub brush, but it's all metal and it's a little bit smaller of a wheel. But that thing, they said, is like pretty dangerous, and it doesn't have it didn't have the guard on it that protects like your fingers and stuff. So the instructor didn't want us using it because it obviously doesn't want anybody to get hurt. But that's basically what we did all day. Just had different divers cycling out, and the divers that weren't on those two tools, they basically went out and searched like for bottles, because there's tons of glass bottles down there, liquor bottles, like Coke bottle, like the old glass Coke bottles, just any kind of glass bottle you can imagine is just all sitting down there in the river. So like they grow barnacles on them, they grow like algae, and like they got dirt inside of them. They look all weathered basically. So they search for as many of those they can find. And there's a bunch of holes on the other side of the dive station that we're now diving at. And there's so many like deep holes. Like one guy said he was at 20 feet deep and he stepped back and he like fell into a hole, and he was like 32 feet down. So he fell like 12 feet into a 10-foot hole. And so like you kind of have to climb yourself out. And they said these holes are like everywhere out there, like literally like 5 feet away from each other. Like there's another hole that you could fall in, and like you get out of that hole, there's another hole that you fall into, and then there's like an underwater like little hill where you like walking and then you run into it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like a big mud hill. So I haven't got to dive yet, so I don't know how it actually is. There's also a lot of guys saying they're running into manatees. There's one guy that said a manatee ran into him. Another guy said he felt like a fuzzy thing, like you could tell it's like a little fuzzy. I thought manatees didn't have any hair or fuzz, but maybe they do. But he said it like swam off. So there's a lot of encounters. Somebody else said they saw a huge fish. I saw some crabs today. I saw like a little crab that was that big. And then there was a huge crab. It was like swimming like on the surface, and then it ran into like a concrete pile, and then it pushed itself off the pile like super hard. It was like choo, like so fast. We were like, whoa. But anyways, yeah, like that was basically the day. Just, diving, normal day. The weather was a little bit rainy today, so it's overcast the whole day. So that might carry on throughout the week, but just a typical day. But I would say it feels a little bit different from the previous modules being a junior, because a lot of guys are more comfortable in the water. Like we know what we're doing. We're not experts, obviously, we're still in school, but we're very comfortable with diving, and we're very comfortable with setting up a dive station, and but also it just with setting up a dive station, but now we're also setting up tools as well, which I can imagine you're always doing like when you actually get a job. You're not just going to be setting up a dive station like we just did in like freshman and sophomore module. You're also going to be setting up your tools, because you're always going to be doing something in the water with some kind of tool. So it's definitely different being a junior, and it just, but anyway, so what we got coming up the rest of the week, we're diving. I should be diving tomorrow. We should be doing scuba stuff on Wednesday. We should be cutting with the chainsaw on Friday, and I'm gonna try to get video of that because it's gonna be in the clear water in the tank. And then next week we got welding, so stay tuned for all that stuff. That's really exciting stuff, I promise. Definitely the welding stuff, because we're gonna have like a project. Hopefully, I hope they don't kill that, but the last couple seniors classes have had like swords, and they had like a huge battle axe like made of metal that they welded together, and they had like the handle is like all like a big chain, but they welded it so it's stiff. So and there's like some contraption from another class, I don't even know, it's like looks like kind of like a gun, but it has like different diving related like gauges on it. I don't know, it's weird, but so yeah, I promise it's going to be exciting for welding and everything like that, more video footage, so definitely stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have in this video. If you like, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and leave any comments or questions for me down below. I will see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great one. Peace.